in the NBA. They're defending champs for a reason, and they can defend, they can score, and they picked up their juice in the second half, and we did miss a few shots. We got some quality looks. We missed a few shots. They did some things to stagnate our offense a bit, and then we were able to pick it up a bit.
Dyson seemed like he's able to do a little bit of everything tonight.
Yeah.
Just what did you think about his performance?
Dyson he's getting better and better, and it's fun to watch right before our eyes. Coming in last season as a 19-year-old rookie, and now getting more minutes, more valuable experiences on the floor. He's a great rebounder. He can play point guard. He can play off the ball. His shooting is getting better, and he's a big-time defender.
Herb had a chase down block in the first half where
Yeah.
it looked like he had no business being in the play. What did you just kind of see on that sequence there?
It was great, and we need more plays like that. Herb and everybody else, just multiple effort. Don't give up on plays. That's who we are. I'm extremely proud of our team, how we took care of home court tonight against, like I said, one of the best teams in the league, and it's a blessing to see our team start to turn the corner a bit.
They cut the lead down to 1 with about 4 minutes
Yeah.
left, and you guys responded with an 8-0 run, and it was all Bi and Zion. Did it feel like that was a significant moment having those guys be the ones to close it out for you in this game?
It was really good to see, and I commended those guys in the locker room down the stretch of the game, the last 3 or 4 minutes. Like you said, we put the ball in their hands in the middle of the floor, and we allowed them to work off of each other. And it was great to see. It was fun to watch, and we just kept going to it, and we got different actions, multiple looks off of it, and that's what the game comes down to. You put the ball in your best player's hands, and we'll continue to work on that synergy throughout the course of the season.
And we talked, since training camp about the significance of having those two guys work together and be the leaders for this team. What's the work kind of for you guys to figure out what they need to do to close the games and work together in those moments late in the fourth quarter?
Well, it's similar to what they did tonight. We have to take care of the basketball. We only had 11 turnovers, which was really good for us. We have to come down and execute every single time and get a quality look. And for the most part, they did that. And then you get fouled, we got to go up and make free throws. So that's the last part to it. We got to step up and be better at the free throw line, 52%. But I don't want to go down a negative road. For me, it's more positives. And it's a great win and hard to win in this league. And so we'll definitely take it against a really good team.
During that 8-0 run, we saw Zion hit an and one on a jumper. Was it good to see him take a jumper in that moment as well?
For sure. I mean, he hit a 3 today too. So, he had it going, and we put the ball in his hands, and it's what he's capable of doing night in and night out.
You look at the box score, Herb had 8, 5, 4, but he was far more impactful than the box score it lose to. Can you speak to his performance tonight?
For sure. Herb Jones is he's a heck of a player, man. And he's even more of a beautiful person. His character, every day he comes in with an extreme focus. And like you said, sometimes things that he does not show up in the box score. But all of his teammates know, we all know what he brings to the table as a leader on both ends of the floor. And it's not coincidental that we won these 2 games when Herb came back. That's how important he is for us.
Speaking of people that came back, Najee Marshall, I think he had a critical role tonight. Again, speak to his performance and how well he's been coming off injury.
The same. Najee hit big shot after big shot when they were making their run, and we needed it. We needed his effort, his energy. He has that hunger and that fight, and he plays a little bit of bully ball while he's out there, and that's what our team needs, and we rally behind that.
There's no great way to defend a guy like Jokic, but how big is it to just be able to put JV, let them be in single coverage, and then allow guys like Dyson and Herb to kind of stay on their own and hit it that way?
He's a tough cover for sure. It's a reason he's an MVP candidate year in and year out. And you're right, down the stretch and throughout the course of the game, we wanted to show him different looks. But then it comes a point where you got to sit down and guard him. I thought JV did a really good job of making it tough for him. He's going to make some tough shots. He's going to make some pop-back threes at times. But JV took on the challenge. And then he went at him on the other end, and that's what it takes. And like you said, it allows our guys to stay home on Porter Jr. and Gordon and Bron and all those guys. But once again, we made plays down the stretch of the game. Okay, thank you guys.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Post Game Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate y'all joining us for this episode of the Pelican Post Game Report. Man, a very happy episode of the Pelican Post Game Report. Of course, Pelicans, man, out hustle the Nuggets 115 to 110. They're now winners of 2 in a row. And they carried a lot of the energy and the intensity that they played in the prior matchup into this matchup, and it resulted in another victory. The Pelicans 2-0. Herb Jones, man, it's just all together, man. I just tell you, I'm so proud of how they're playing, man. I love this energy. They haven't totally gotten it figured out. There's still a few things they got to iron out, but when you're playing with this type of edge, as Lex would say, you're playing with an edge. They are definitely playing with an edge, man. And the way they played tonight was spectacular. They got to clean up some stuff, the foul shots, missing the foul shots, make the games a lot more, more dramatic. Hit those free throws. We kind of cruising out of this thing. But listen, man, the energy, you can't deny it. So shout out to the fam. I'm Big Q chiming in this episode of the Pelican Post Game Report. We have Alexa. DC is traveling right now, so he'll probably holler at us in the next stream, but we'll kind of recap the Pelicans matchup tonight. And the Pelicans do have another matchup tomorrow night, and we'll open up the phone lines then against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So hopefully we can get 3 straight on that one, but they showed me tonight that they can bottle up some of this stuff and move it forward. So gonna bring in Lex. Lex, what's happening? You heard, actually, rather you watched the game tonight. You seen the intensity, the effort that the Pelicans were playing with. Let me tell you something. I was very, very happy about how the Pelicans handled business today. I'm just really loving this thing. So, kind of talk to us about what you've seen tonight. They carried a lot of that force, a lot of that energy and intensity from the prior matchup into this game, man, and it showed. Now, we still got some wrinkles to iron out, but the effort is definitely there, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. I love their energy. I love the carryover. That's one thing that I was concerned about still, because again, one game is one game, but now we've seen it in 2 games in a row. So it's like, with this type of energy, they've set a new standard, and fans have a new expectation for the team. So it's like, anything below this is not going to be acceptable. They got to have this right here and more. So it's definitely something to grow off of. They definitely have a lot of things that they do need to iron out, like you said. But with this type of energy, you're able to do that. You're able to address things a lot more efficiently and pinpoint things that you need to work on, because you're giving it your all out there. You're not going through the motions. When you're going through the motions, you're not able to see things that you need to work on or get better at. So, I mean, just the energy alone is like a major thing for the team. But they look good out there. I'm not seeing a whole lot of hesitancy out there, which is really good, because they are trusting each other. They're playing with a whole lot more confidence. The energy's been contagious. So therefore, collectively, the team is playing well as a group, which is really nice, because it's like, hey man, you get you some. And then it's like, next guy over, hey, you get you some. And it's like, all the good energy is being shared right now. So, and everybody's being successful in their own right. But that's basically what I saw. I mean, it's beat a great team, beat the defending champs. We got another challenge on tomorrow, but they can enjoy this one. But hey, if we can beat tomorrow, that means the Pels would have beat 3 top teams. I think all 3 of these teams, between Dallas Nuggets and the T-Wolves, they're top 4 seeds in the West. And that's really good. That's really good, especially having them 3 games in a row. So we ain't finished.
No, we still got work to do, it's a great start, to be honest with you, man. We'll go over the NBA in season tournament standards momentarily. Let's hit these stats, which are really, really encouraging. Pelicans 46 of 88 from the field for 52.3% tonight. They were 12 of 23 from downtown for 52.2%. Pelicans shot over 52% both from the field and from downtown, and unfortunately from the free throw line as well. So 11 of 21 for 52.4 from the foul. So they had the 50s on the mind, and free throws, 10 free throw misses that could have really made this game a lot, a lot more relaxing for us anyway. But the Nuggets 47 of 96 for 49 flat, 10 of 40 from downtown, 25%. They were 6 of 12 from the foul line as well for 50%. They had 51 rebounds tonight versus the Pelicans 39. The Pelicans had 32 assists, but the Nuggets had 37 of them. A lot of that was Jokic. I mean, he was just moving the ball around. 8 steals by the Pelicans, 5 on the blocks by the Pelicans versus 4 and 3 by the Nuggets. They had 11 turnovers by the Pelicans tonight, 13 by the Nuggets. So, Lex, all that I can say is, man, the way the Pelicans were playing in this matchup, man, it was like you talked a lot about what you've seen out there. Of course, we didn't win any quarters toward the back end, but I just liked the fact that they were playing, with an intensity and an energy.
Yeah.
And I just have to keep saying it, because we're going to need that moving forward. We've seen a little different from Zion. He did a little stuff. He took a shot from there. You slowly rolling it out. And you did mention that is on the way, and he's slowly rolling it out. But
he
still
did that last season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is his routine.
Yep.
All right, so this is the individuals here. Let's hit these two. 26 points from Zion. He was the leader of the team in 33 minutes worth of action, 10 of 17 from the field. He did get his 3-point shot, but the foul line was a major problem. They did give him opportunities to go to the foul line tonight. He had 11 opportunities. It was 5 of 11. We got to clean that up. 26 points, 6 assists, 4 boards, 2 blocks, and plus 21 on the plus minus by Zion. 21 from BI in 38 minutes. He was 9 of 19, and 2 of 4 from downtown. 8 assists, 3 boards for BI. 22 from Big V in the game in 34 minutes of action. That was really huge. Getting his offensive game going against the Joker was big. Yeah. He was 10 of 8 from the 1 of 3 from the 3-point range, 1 of 3 from the foul line, which usually is pretty good shooting his free throws, but he was 1 of 3 tonight. He finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block in the matchup. And then we go to Dyson Daniels, 10 points in 33 minutes. He was 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown. Dyson had 10 points, 8 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals. He was awesome, plus 12 on the plus minus. And then the bench guys, Najee Marshall in 18 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 6 from the field. Najee was 4 of 5 from downtown, 12 points, 5 boards, a steal in the block by Najee in the game. A steal in the assist. And he was just awesome. His defense, the stuff that he was doing, moving around, he was hitting shots at the right time. Najee was awesome tonight, in this game. And I'm going to talk about Herb in a second, because Herb didn't score a lot of points, but his defense and just his effort and everything, he was just awesome out there. Jayhawk finished with 7 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds on 26 minutes of action, 3 of 7 from the field. He was 1 of 3 from downtown. Matt Ryan, 9 points in 19 minutes. He was 3 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown in a game. And of course, we talk about Herb. You can't say enough about him. He had 8 points, but played 37 minutes of action. He was 3 of 8 from the field. He was perfect from the foul line, 2 of 2, finished with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. And despite all of that, Herb was just everywhere. So it was a combined effort of the Pelicans, especially guys off the bench, along with our stars, plus especially on the back end of the game, Lex, when you seen Zion and BI kind of coexisting there and then working together to kind of help close this game out. So let's kind of talk about that.
Okay. Well, first, one thing I want to recognize JV. I think a lot of times, he gets a lot of, trade talk and rumors and things, but he really did his thing tonight. To really put pressure on Jokic. And Jokic, he did have a triple double. His numbers look great, but I mean, Jokic is a great player. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, the dude is cold. Players like that, you're not gonna totally neutralize them, like I said on the last PPR show. But JV did put pressure on him. He was, attacking him, you know, on the offensive end, and that's one thing that the team really needed. Um, so definitely, just looking at the things that he did, I'm glad he made a better effort in this game because it's not easy to guard Jokic. I mean, he's a tough cover, so we definitely gotta recognize JV and give him his props because that I don't think anybody else would have been able to do what he did. I mean, we need that from him when we play this team. Um, Definitely Herb and Najee, they really did their thing. I mean, Herb, he's just leveled up on his defense. It's not even funny. I mean, it's kind of hard because to think that you can level up on defense because you always see guys level up on the offensive end, but to level up on the defensive end is a entirely uh, uh, entirely like total new beast in itself. So um, Herb has been, I mean, he's been doing his thing. Najee, like, he's becoming a sniper behind that arc. Like, I didn't know, he's really been working on his shot. I think it's safe to say that we can have a little bit more confidence when he's shooting from behind the arc, as well as like his hustle and his energy. That's pretty infectious. And Zion, I mean, hey, I've been saying it like as the season goes along, Zion has been putting in work on his jumper and his threes. I think, he always usually starts what he's comfortable with, but as the season goes along, the dude is going to shoot just like he did last season, people. He's going to shoot. I mean, you saw him. I mean, it's not high volumes, but you do see it. And I heard somebody mention, hey, Ben Simmons. Let me tell y'all something. Zion ain't afraid. This ain't no Ben Simmons thing. He doesn't mind shooting. The thing is, as time goes along, he's just getting more comfortable. His conditioning is getting better. You can see that his defense is getting better for everybody who want to clown him on his defense. But he's going to have all this stuff put together, just like he did last season. He did the same exact thing. So, I mean, we've seen it before. More is going to come as he continues to stay available. So I'm pretty pleased with what he's doing because he's going to be just fine. I'm not concerned about him. I wasn't concerned about his defense or his mid-range or three-point shooting because all that stuff is going to come. But yeah. Yeah, everybody did their thing. I loved how Zion and BI were playing off of each other. They look comfortable. I've been saying that they've been very hesitant, and you did not see that on tonight. So, obviously, I just think they've needed more time on the court together to kind of work things out. I saw some videos where they were working on their two-man game in practice. So I enjoyed seeing that because that was the first time I saw a video of them actually working together in practice. But yeah, it looks like it's coming together and it looks natural. It doesn't look like they're thinking about it. It's just something that they just know to do. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Lex. I mean, their game is definitely coming together, and Zion during the post game right when Jen grabbed him after the game was over with, and she asked him about the chemistry aspect of those guys, and Zion basically, confessed that they are believing it's. They're starting to believe in each other. They're starting to trust, each other more and more, and that's that chemistry. So Pelicans top guys are playing together, and it's just terrific seeing Bi and Zion how they closed this game. And like I said, it wasn't perfect, like we would want them to just run Denver out of here. But listen, had they hit some of these foul shots, this would have kind of extended the game and gave it a different look. So there's still some stuff to work on here. Our defense still needs some improvement, but listen, anything is possible when you play with this type of intensity and effort. You
You know
always
what? No, I'm sorry. Go on. I thought you were saying. I
no,
was
go
trying
ahead.
to-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that this is actually a good thing, because obviously you don't want to have it all together. You want to have something to look forward to. So there's plenty of things that they can continue to improve upon, which is great. Because if they're playing like this, because really all of this, how well they're playing is just energy based. I just feel like that's just based off the energy. Once they polish the different areas of the game along with having this energy, I mean, this team can definitely be unstoppable. I mean, they can really do some damage in the playoffs. And I know it's early and it's just 2 games, but they're trending in the right direction, and that's the only thing you can ask for.
Yeah, they are definitely doing that. They're definitely trending in the right direction. 2-game winning streak. Next up are the Minnesota Timberwolves. Y'all guys remember them several days back. They waxed the Pelicans pretty good. This time around, this is a different Pelican club that this team is going to be facing off against. Like I said earlier in the month, they beat the Pelicans by 21 points. In this time around, Pelicans can get some revenge on them, just like they got on the Denver Nuggets. So, like I said, different team, and a lot of stuff is happening in between time. Ant-Man, 26 points a game. Rudy Gobert is there. They have a really talented team coming into this thing. 8-3 of the Wolves right now. Pelicans have improved to 6-6. They're 4-3 at home. Like I said, 2-game winning streak. Minnesota, lot of people. Conley, Edwards, and all these guys. Big Cat and Gobert are all available. Shake Milton and the rest of these guys like Kyle Anderson and Naz Reid are going to be there to challenge the Pelicans, try to bust up our 2-game winning streak. Let's talk about it, Lex. Pelicans carry this intensity and edge into this Minnesota game. Minnesota be hard pressed to come up with a victory.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think a lot of guys were out, including Zion. And then not only that, just the way that the team is playing right now, it's gonna be it's like 2 totally different teams compared to what they played on last week. So this is definitely going to be different. It's going to be more challenging. It's not going to be easy because you got to think this T-Wolves team, they've beaten the Nuggets as well, and they've also beaten the Boston Celtics, which are the top 2 teams in their conference, in their respective conference. So we got a lot on our hands. This won't be easy, but I think the way that the Pels are playing and they're getting more comfortable as far as in their identity and they're being consistent, I think they can get them.
Do you now?
Yeah.
Have you been convinced?
I mean, there's still work to be done, but like momentum, I believe in momentum. And if they're carrying this momentum over to the next game, just like they did from Dallas to the Nuggets game, I think they can get them. But I think this game will be a whole lot tougher than the Nuggets game. I think a lot of their pieces, I don't know. This is a different type of a T-Wolves team that we've seen in the past. Even Rudy Gobert, as much as we've clowned him in the past, he's actually playing well. So, and obviously Nas Reed and McDaniels, they're really doing their thing. They got a stellar defensive backcourt in Anthony and McDaniels. Just like, with we have in Herb and Dyson. But it's not going to be easy. And they've been consistently playing well a whole lot longer than the Pels have. But like I said, I mean, the Pels are at home. It's going to be a fight, but it'll definitely be a confirmation of the identity of this team. But it's not going to be easy. But hey, we don't want things to be easy because we trying to get to the next level. So.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, Lex. It's like, and some of the family members are mentioning in the chat, say Pelicans hit their free throws tonight. They cruise. It's not the cardiac game toward the back end. We did allow them to stay where they were. We get more fundamental, and like we said, that's a process we'll continue to improve upon. You see, the Pelicans are definitely trending in the right direction. They're heading in the right direction. And listen, I'm cool with that, just as long as they keep playing. You want to finish this sentence for me, Lex? You want to just keep?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
playing with an edge. Playing with an edge.
That's what I'm talking about, man. As long as they play with this edge here, man, I'm cool. I'm cool with this because very few teams can meet them at this energy level. Them diving for balls and playing defense, sticking in there, knocking the ball out, just attacking, hitting shots, playing with a lot of fun. This brand of basketball that we're witnessing, the Pelicans play over the last couple of games, is a very fun brand of ball, and everybody loves it. When the Pelicans did, the shots are falling. And as I'm watching the game, and and they pan to the sideline, and you see Jose Alvarado, who's getting closer and closer to coming back. You got Trey Murphy there. You got Larry Nance there. You got CJ McCollum standing over there. These are some of the guys that are currently missing right now that we ultimately going to get back down.
And the team is playing well.
Exactly.
And that's a good situation. When you got guys down and the Pels are playing like this, now guess what, everybody? We do not need to talk about we dealing with injuries, because I don't know how many of y'all, but I was actually tired of that. Like at some point we gotta not use that as an excuse, but now we can not have that. I mean, it shouldn't be that, we have to use, injuries. And I know we do have injuries. I understand that, but look at what the team is doing. And nobody has mentioned, we got injuries. Why? Because look at how they're playing. This is what we've been needing. That energy and that edge makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference.
Shout out to Big K and the rest of the fam, man. Shout out to everybody. Tyree, DJ T, Jacob, Kevin Conley, all the family members. Craig, how you doing, fam? Molly Mall's in the building. Lonnie, everybody, man. Shout out to y'all. I see you, Edward. Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate y'all for chiming in. Carolyn, I see you. Mister. Man, listen, this is a big part of it, man. Edge. That's what I'm talking about. The Pelicans playing with the edge. And you're absolutely right, Lexa. When you talking about the fact that these guys are missing, and these are some really key guys to the Pelicans. They do, and the Pelicans, they're not letting that hold them down. They're coming out and they're fighting. Dyson Daniels stepping it up, Jordan Hawkins stepping it up. Our young guys, our first round draft pick young guys are stepping it up. Najee Marshall came in there, and his defense, and plus the fact that his shot is falling. Yeah, I have to give it to you. You mentioned that, Alexis, that definitely his shot is falling. Dyson's shot is a lot better. So you're seeing certain people that need to contribute to help the team win that are contributing. Yeah. And then that bench, let me tell you something. We talked a lot about last year how a lot of the pressure was on the starters to win, and we didn't have a complete bench. But I got to give it to the flock. I got to give it to old Doc Ock. Doc Ock really did well. Trajan Langdon.
Get it right.
Trajan Langdon See, I get all. I've been doing this for a while, but I got to man that's why he was trying to get the hell out of here, Lex, to go to Washington because nobody don't want to give him no credit. If
Hey,
he
you
ain't
know what? He need to be thanking the Lord right now that he didn't go to Washington because they ain't looking good right now.
hey, he was trying to get out of there. I said, "What you doing, Trace? What you trying to do, brother? That's a dumpster fire up there, baby."
Hey,
Oh man,
he's not giving. Hey, you got to give the man the right to do his job, to fulfill his job description.
right? Doc out all of the tentacles off him and freed him and allowed him to start making his moves. So picking up guys, man, that's really helping. I'm just really happy for some of the guys that we brought in. I love
Yeah.
Jordan Hawkins. I love what he's bringing. Also, like the maturation of several young players that we have. But Lex, some of these guys, man, like Matt Ryan, who brings an energy,
Yeah. And
focus.
these were last minute pickups. Matt Ryan, Jeremiah Robinson Earl.
Yes.
Like they've been, man. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm so glad the Pels did something because we were wanting them to do something. Like, y'all, the only person they added was Cody Zeller and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. He came in immediately. He was here for a week and got to start after being picked up, for being here for a week. And Matt Ryan, I mean, he was picked up like what, a couple of days before the season started. So, I mean, these guys were great pickups. I'm glad that they did not stop looking and they were looking at guys that, were just passed up. Because we really needed a little bit more life, role players that just added, were assets to the team. And they've definitely been that. I mean, they've got more clock than Cody Zeller has, and he was on the team way before they were. So, I mean, that just goes to show that we really needed to add key pieces to this roster to really help fill out because I'm just really liking what they're doing on the court, and it's not always with the shooting, but it's things that don't come up on the stat sheet. Just their hustle, their energy, their effort, getting deflections. You don't see all that stuff with them, but they're active on defense, and that's good stuff. You can't turn your nose up at that.
Yeah, Matt Ryan was +8 tonight. He finished with 9 points and he was +8 on his plus minus. So I mean, like you said, he's averaging 9 points a game, over 9 points per game for the Pelicans off the bench. I mean, these guys come in and they come in here and they have a direct impact on the game. Matt Ryan's hitting 3-pointers from the corner. He's in there challenging shots. He's not the best defender in the world, but he plays with effort every night. He's trying. And then you talked about Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who comes in there, gets rebounds, plays defense, knocks down a 3-point shot. So I mean, you like you said, I think it all just works well, and I'm just really excited about the Pelicans. The fact that we're missing some of our more core guys. We're missing CJ was a starter, Jose is one of our top guys off the bench, Trey Murphy, Larry, but the Pelicans are still in there, wrestling with the Denver Nuggets and this crazy guy, the Joker, running around getting these insane numbers. Man, it's ridiculous. The Joker
Yeah, he does it. He does it effortlessly.
Insane. It's insane what he did tonight. I'm sitting here looking at the statistics for the Joker, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And the Pelicans were still able to handle business against these people, man. So it's just amazing what the Joker does, man. And he's not the most athletic guy in the world, but my goodness, the numbers that he puts up with this Denver
Yeah.
26, 16, 18 tonight, and then +5 on the plus minus. Joker is just awesome, man. But like we was talking about, it helps when you have Valančiūnas that scored 22 when the Joker scored 26. That kind of neutralized.
Made a huge difference. Look, we got to give him his props, man. I mean, we get, a lot of people give JV a whole lot of fits, but JV does have something to offer. And I mean, just like Nikola Jokic is a European player, so is Jonas. So is Jonas, man. I mean, he has that type of game as well. It's funny because people talk about how Jonas is flat-footed, he moves slow and everything. So does Jokic. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
But
listen,
obviously,
man, I was looking like so I'm like, this dude is Joker and Big V are athletically equal. They're two big,
yeah, they move the same. They slow.
right?
I'm like, man, Jokic is so slow. You know what I'm saying? But he gets it. He gets it done, man. I mean, I think skill wise, he's on another level than Jonas. But Jonas, if he can, it's weird how they call fouls for Jokic. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Because I feel like Jonas, he does similar things on the other end, but they don't call anything. But I
Nope.
don't know. It's just kind of weird how that works. Because they're both about the same size. No different body, body shapes, but they basically the same size. So I just think that's kind of interesting how one gets a lot more calls than the other.
Yeah, definitely that's the case because you see, the Joker gets in there, he does stuff, he initiates contact.
Yeah.
Playing defense, he fouls a lot. He was in there smacking the ball out of the hand of Big V, but the reality is he was smacking Big V on the arm. He was smack. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
a foul. But I
Yeah.
was I was looking at the calls. I'm like, dude, what's going on here? But the referees was allowing them to, allowing a lot of physical contact going on in there. And you see Zion get to that. He got hit a bunch of times. He got frustrated, but he got 11 attempts to get to the foul line tonight. It should have been at least 15 attempts. Get
Yeah.
in there. So, but still in all, you're absolutely right. Now, I guess this is part of the game when they talk about how the Jokers actually earn those calls. They see him as a superstar and one of the top players in the league, so they get those type of calls. They're protected. They get those type of calls, man. They really do.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny because he's not the best defensive player. He's never really been known for his defense. So, but he has those credentials, and obviously the league is really pushing, as far as the overseas market. We all know that. So, I mean, he's got that working for you. Henceforth, look at all the top guys that they're talking about as far as like MVP rankings. It's all overseas cats. Jokic, Doncic, Embiid, even though he recently became an American citizen. But yeah, obviously Giannis. But those are actually the top guys in the league right now. So
That is. All right. Shout out to the rest of the fam. Melon and God, I see you, fam. Appreciate you. Action Jackson, much love, fam. Appreciate y'all in there. So let me kind of get this again. Throw this at you again about the Pelicans in the Timberwolves matchup. You are picking the Pelicans to win this game, correct?
yeah, I'll go with him.
See, I did. Okay, cool.
I'll
That's
go with him.
all right. Now, because you said they got the momentum, so
Yeah.
usually the momentum you're supposed to win. Now, see, you picked them, and I was gonna say, you know what? They got to show me in the second game. I'm a man of my word, and that's what I said, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rock with the Pels as long as they play with this type of intensity, this edge,
And more.
nation. Oh yeah, because it's infectious. It's
Yeah.
Bill and Bill. Everybody's gonna eventually get involved with it. But as long as they keep doing this, and I've said this before, as long as they keep playing with this level of intensity, there is very few teams in the league that can match them at playing with this, and we'll start getting other guys back here as well. So it's going to be a fun matchup on Saturday, prime time matchup. Lex said they're gonna win. I said they're gonna win. DC told me that he thinks they're gonna win. So it's a trifecta. So it's we gonna get it across the board. All right. So before we go, let's look at the in season, the NBA in season tournament groupings standings. As you can see, West Group B with Pelicans involved here. You can see right now they're 1-1 right here, and the Nuggets. Hold on, that's not right. That's old. Let me see if I can refresh that. Hold on here. What's going on here? All right, look, they need to update that because that's not right. I think we beat the. We have to find a more better better rankings. I was trying to find something, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
the Pels are number 2 right now, and they're 2-1
Mm-hmm.
because they beat Dallas, they beat the Nuggets, and they lost to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
on last Friday, so it's 2-1. All
Yeah.
right, we're trending in the right direction.
All right, there it is. That's the correct one right here. There's Group B right here. You see it right there. Houston's there. Pelicans. You see the Nuggets drop up under the Pelicans right there. So as long as we keep doing what we're supposed to do, we should be fine, man, moving forward. So anyway, with that being said, fam, we're gonna get ready to get out on that. Listen, we'll return tomorrow with another episode of the Pelican Post Game Report. We will hold on. Let me before I drop out here. Somebody sent a super chat. Shout out to Noam for the super chat. Says you do. He says you do y'all. He says do y'all see CJ closing games when he comes back with Herb and Dyson playing so well together defensively? Lex, what you think? Thank you for that, bro. Shout out to you for that.
Yeah, that is a good question. Because one thing I will say is that I was concerned about that backcourt because I'm like, okay, we don't have any shooting, but because this is a defensive running team, you know what I'm saying? That energy is what kind of fuels, you know, the game plan. So I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, really, my take on it is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's working, why would you break it? Like, especially when the team as a whole was struggling. And then just really with CJ, I would work him back slowly anyway with his situation. But I mean, man, they're man, this is these two last two games, man. This is the best that they've played. In all 12 games, this is the best that they've played. As far as energy wise, everyone being involved, everyone defensively being locked in for the most part. I mean, I would hate to break that up. But I mean, really, it would be like they would have to do something wrong in order for CJ to get back in the lineup, I think. Because if something's going good like this, why would you break it? So
Yeah, I've seen something like this happen before when you had a guy come back in and the Pelicans were playing well. And then a starter, they put, I forget the exact scenario, what happened or who they did, but this happened not too quite recent in recent history of the Pelicans. They were playing pretty decently, and then they implemented and brought a player back, a star, and put him in the game, and it kind of messed up the rhythm of the chemistry of what they were doing, and they kind of stumbled a bit, and then they had to refine themselves. But it was over several games. Like the momentum had been, disturbed. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Lex, about key if it ain't broke, you no need to tamper with it. But see Dyson Daniels, he's not exactly Trey Murphy or Jordan Hawkins, but he
no,
is shooting the ball a lot better than what he did last year.
yeah, he's doing well.
And Herb is shooting the ball, pretty decently as well. And then the bench is really supporting the Pelicans too. Like I can't speak enough about the bench. That's one of the things we always talk about for years on the Pelican Post Game Report. Is that the Pelicans are what we would I guess we would call top heavy. Top heavy meaning that they had the starters that was carrying the team, like the startings was carrying the team, and they had one or two guys off the bench who one guy in particular would come in and help out, and it was just too much pressure on the starters to carry the game every night. It looks differently when guys off the bench, not only because not everybody's going to score, but when you're called upon to score, Matt Ryan, when you call upon to score Jordan Hawkins, you're coming off the bench and you're hitting shots that's keeping the Pelicans at arm's length and keeping them away from their adversaries when these games get a little closer. It really helps out, especially when you get those back-to-backs, when you have a balanced team playing like that and everybody's carrying their weight. It's just a phenomenal feeling. And I agree with you. I wouldn't do it, but I don't know if Willie and
Yeah.
McCollum finally gets up. I just really think that he gonna be jumping at the bit to slide them in there, despite however they're playing. But I absolutely,
Well, he loves defense though. Willie Green. He loves defense. I know he loves CJ, but he also loves defense. But one thing, we covered this a few games back, but when BI was out for 3 games, and when he came back, you know, the whole team was struggling when he came back. Like the rhythm was off, and it took a while. Obviously, I think we had the 5-game losing streak, so it took some time for him to get acclimated back in the game. Of course, we also got Herb back because, but I don't know. I think with Brandon, obviously, it's different from CJ, but I mean, we just recently saw it because he was out with his knee injury, and when he came back, it took some time for the team to get back into a rhythm, even though they really weren't in the best rhythm to begin with. So it's a head scratcher. But right now they're playing. This is the best these last 2 games have been the best basketball this season, hands down, no doubt about it.
And the part about it is, I wonder if we would have gotten here, and we probably would have, but when Willie got sick, and then Borrego came in and directed the team, it just everything changed. It's like everything changed when Willie wasn't able to step in there. Borrego stepped in there, and the Pelicans just everything just the energy, everything changed, and now it's just carrying forward. So that was a very unique step right there when it took a change, some kind of. We were talking about things got to change, and who knew? Only thing had to happen was Willie get sick, and then somebody else, Borrego, steps in and have everybody moving around and playing, flying, and having whatever the case may be. I'll take it because Willie,
It was almost like it was needed. But then go on. I was just want to put that in there.
Well, you was talking about you. I have to say, Lexi, you've been a very critical person about the doctrine of love. You've been doctrine of love, and we've been trying to tell you, Lex, that is a tough love. It's different levels to it, and Willie has tough love. But this time around, well, I just think that things are working well for the Pelicans. Anytime your head coach gets sick, misses a game, the offensive mind of the team comes in there and just situates, said, this is how you do it. Now, Willie, here you go. So, I mean, it is cool having that area of it, see, because a lot of people could see, well, I don't see where Borrego's offense, and we were asking that question. I don't see this fantastic Borrego offense as we were asking that, and it wasn't.
That was my first flash report. I was like, man, I'm not seeing it. Where's it at? You know what I'm saying? like, come on now, because we know about Charlotte, but it was a struggle watching these games because I'm like, man, this looks worse than last season. You know what I'm saying? Like, the last season was better than this. Let's go back to that so we can at least have a view of something that did work. And that was my only thing, because I was concerned. I'm like, we don't know where this thing's at, but Willie going down, I think that was very much needed. I think it was needed because Willie said he was at home and he was watching the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was, studying and different things. So I think by him being at home, being away and looking outside in from a different view, and just not being there, I think that actually helped him. So, and then seeing Borrego doing his thing. So, hey, it was needed. It was definitely needed.
Yeah, it was. It worked perfectly. Ever since then, the Pelicans on a 2-game winning streak. They're playing phenomenal basketball right now. Effort is off the chain. It all corresponded with the in-season tournament. The changing the court, the jerseys. It like they took on a whole new identity, and it all fit. New court, new jerseys, new mentality. It all worked well, and the Pelicans are totally capitalizing off of it right now. And let's see them have it, because these last 2 games were very difficult opponents. This Minnesota team is going to be a very difficult opponent. And it's just, can you deal with this intense Pelicans, this new intense version of the Pelicans, Ant-Man, Big Cat, Rudy, and the rest of them guys? Can you deal with this? Because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be rocking in the Smoothie King Center on Saturday. Friday's crowd was really awesome. Saturday's crowd is going to be off the chain. So it's going to be fun. All right. So anyway, Lex, you want to say something before we depart?
Oh, shoot. Play with the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. We got to play with that edge.
Hey, listen, Lex, since you put that out there, man, that is the theme song, man, that the Pelicans need to do. And they have been doing that, man. They have been playing with the edge, and it is definitely present, man. So we got to keep pushing that out there, man. So shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all tuning into the Pelican Postgame Report, fam. Remember, tomorrow, like I said, y'all know Minnesota. We got to take them down tomorrow, 6 p.m. tip-off time in the Smoothie King Center. We have the live scoreboard up at that time, and then preceding to be the Pelican Postgame Report. We'll open up the phone lines tomorrow, man, for everybody can chime in on their thoughts of the Pelicans after the Minnesota game, man. We're going to have a ball on Saturday night, man. We're going to talk some Pels, and y'all know how we do here at the PPR. So with that being said, we're going to get out on that, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed as well. Be looking out there for the next PPR Flash Report. So with that being said,
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items.